This is the story of the time I got jumped out of a gang for being a bad fashion designer. In the early to mid 2000s, when I was a tween, there was this really obscure online game client called BYOND, spelled BYOND, and it was just a hive of scum and virginity. Because it was a combination of really smart teenagers that could utilize the coding language and make the games, and then just the most evil, scummy 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds that would populate the universe. But basically the whole premise of the game client was that you could code and upload these MMORPG style games with 16-bit Game Boy Advance graphics. So pretty much anything you were into, they had a Beyond game for it. Whether you were a Naruto fan, or Yu Yu Hakusho, or Inuyasha, or my favorite, Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z, if you don't know, is a TV show about big muscly dudes that fight and shoot laser beams out of their hands at each other, and it's pretty much the best thing that could happen to you as a 13-year-old boy. And they had a video game where you could create your own Dragon Ball Z character and customize it and train and fight bad guys and fight other kids and join guilds. So I was all into it. And the thing is my parents had dial-up until 3 weeks ago. We had dial-up way late in the game. Everyone else had DSL. So my computer was too slow for me to be good at fighting, because I would always lag in a fight, and then the other guy would be 3 steps ahead of me and I would just get the shit kicked out of me. I kind of was just in it for the fun of it, for the community, for the hanging out. I wasn't really much good in a battle, but my cousin got me into this guild of fighters, and he's like, hey, this guy's my cousin, help him out, let him join the guild. So they let me join the guild, and they're like, well, what's your role in the guild? What are you bringing to the table? I kind of just blurted out the first thing that I could think of, which is that, oh, I'm an artist. I'm going to make sprites for the guild. We'll have new outfits, and I'll make us custom energy attacks, because in this game you could import new sprites into the game for money. And they're like, cool, we need a new artist. And they're like, all right, your first assignment is we got a big battle coming up next week, and we need new uniforms from the guild. We want some badass ninja suits. Can you do that? And I was like, ninja suits, totally. That's right up my alley. Awesome. Ninja suits, I'm on it. I panicked. The rest of the week I spent the entire time trying to learn how to make these pixelated graphics, and you'd have to do all the animations. You'd have to do the animation for walking forward and side to side and front and back, and the attack animations, the animation for flying. So I spent all week making these ninja suits, and they were red, and they had black straps on them, swords on the back, and face masks and eyes everywhere, and I thought they were super cool. And finally, the day the big battle comes, you had to go to the shop and pay a bunch of in-game money to actually use the sprites. So everybody paid $1,000,000 yen in-game or whatever it was. And one by one, everyone in the guild walked outside and they put on the suits. And then there's a moment of silence. And then one guy just types out, dude, we look like Mexican wrestlers. And I was like, no, they're cool red ninja suits with stripes on them and a cool cross pattern on the face. They're like, no, we look like Deadpool goes to Cancun. These are terrible. And then before I could finish explaining myself, they just all shot energy blasts at me, and I never played again.